Yo, Guesty here, and welcome to WhatsUp Mod. Today I'm checking out the More Weapons and Armor mod by Reptilian Boy, and as you can see, I'm currently floating underwater and not having to surface at all. And that's because I'm wearing lily pad armor, which is one of the very many additions in this mod. So what I'll do is we'll go through the crafting recipes really quickly first, because there's quite a few of them, and then we'll get into testing everything out. Okay, I was going to start out by making what is called the forge in this mod, but it appears you can't actually create it, and I was also checking through my too many items, and it doesn't appear to be anywhere in here either. So whether the recent Minecraft update has somehow made it invalid in the mod, or whether the creators just decided to get rid of it, I'm not sure. But the mod definitely had a lot of scope when this was implemented, but for the time being, we're only going to be missing out on a couple of items due to this. So we're not going to worry about it. We'll just move on and get on to the next item that we're going to make. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to just create a few weapons. And first of all, I'm going to create what is called a battle axe. And the diamond battle axe we got here. And for all the weapons and armor, I'm just going to make them in diamond, just because that'll be the best that you can actually make in this mod. I'm not going to bother with making them in wooden and stone and iron and gold. But in saying that, you can make them all out of all those ingredients. So next off, we have a dagger, and then finally we have, using our bow, a crossbow. So these are the three weapons which have been added to the game. And also, as I was saying before though, there was another weapon called the longsword, but because we don't have a forge, you can't actually make one. So I'm not exactly sure what's happening with that. So I'll have to give an update on that if I find out what's happening. Okay, next up, I'll just show you some of the basic armors that have been put into the game with this mod. So first off, I'll show you how to make chain, because with the chain, we can actually make chainmail. And I'll just show you how to make the chest plate of all the armors, because everything else is the same. You just put everything in the same formation as you would for any other armor, like iron, stone, whatever. And so this is the chain chest plate. It's about the same strength as diamond. We also have wooden chest plate, if I can make one. Yep, so that's a wooden one. We have, using nether warts, we can create nether chest plate. And finally, using lily pads, we can create lily pad chest plate. And each of these different armors has different properties, but we'll get on to explaining them a little bit later. Okay, now moving on to the tools in this mod. First off, we have paxels, and it's simply the pickaxe, the shovel, and the axe of whatever tier item you want to create. In this case, I've used diamonds as I had for the rest of the mod, and you get a diamond paxel. So basically, it's a axe, a shovel, and a pickaxe all in one. And then also we have obsidian tools which have been implemented. So I'm just going to create a pickaxe for the time being, but I mean you can create swords and spades and whatever you want to make. So it's just depends on what you want to make. And so these items, the obsidian tools, have just twice the strength as a diamond tool would. Okay, now there's just another couple of items that I've got to show you before we can get into the really cool stuff of this mod. And that is the bolts, which are obviously the ammunition for the crossbow. So iron ingot and a stick. And there's also the chain, which I showed you before. And it's simply 3 iron ingots, and will give you 1 piece of chain, which is used for making any chain items. And there's also meant to be a different way of creating arrows, by placing obsidian in a crafting slot to create arrowheads, but it doesn't seem to be working. So I'm not sure if this is in the same boat as the forge or not, but anyway. And there's also meant to be tongs, which use iron ingots to create a tong like this, but that isn't working either. So I'm not sure whether they have just broken since the new update or whatever, but anyway. So there's also one other thing I need to show you before we can get on to creating the really cool items, and that's to do with here, the dragon egg. Now, if we come over to our furnace over here and place the dragon egg in, you can start burning it, I guess. And you get the dragon egg by killing the end dragon, or the ender dragon, as most of you would know. And when you do get that, it's pretty hard to actually obtain. I might have to do a video on that or something. But anyway, so you get a dragon enchanting dust when you put this in the furnace. And this is a very cool item because not only is it used for a lot of the crafting recipes for the really cool items, but it also acts as like an infinite supply of redstone when you're crafting with it. You can't place it down, but only when you're crafting with it, because you notice here that I can just keep clicking on this and it will just come straight back into my inventory. So it can be a little bit slow in the fact that you got to keep placing it back in the slot, but you'll never get rid of it. So it's very, very cool. Okay, now this brings me to the really cool section of the mod, and that is creating godlike weapons. So what you need is one of each different tier of weapon, or tools, sorry, and the dragon enchanting dust, which we made earlier, and diamonds and chain. Only one of each, but I've just got 64 here because I'm going to create a pickaxe and some shovels and an axe too. But firstly, we'll create the godlike sword. So it will just use up one of those diamonds, one of the chains, all the swords, and obviously put the dragon enchanting dust back in our inventory. And then we can do the same for the pickaxe. I don't think it has to be in any certain order, so I'm just going to mix this up at the moment just to see if it actually works in any sort of order. If not, we'll be in a mess. No, there we go. So it works in any order that you want to put it in, as long as you've got all the tools in there, or all the items in there that's needed. So this is a godlike pickaxe. We'll do the same for the spades. I mean the shovels, my bad. And then finally we'll do the same for the axes. Alright, and now, as we did before, if you remember, we created one of these things here, a paxel. And we can also do that with the godlike tools. So if we put all these items in, and again, it doesn't matter where the hell you put them, as long as they're all in the crafting slots, you can create the godlike paxel, which is like the ultimate tool in the game. And apparently, should make it like as if we're playing in creative. So I think the first thing we need to do is actually test out this paxel and just see how good it is. Apparently it's meant to make it like you're almost playing creative. And at the moment, freaking hell, it is absolutely smashing through everything. I don't know if we can go right down here. I want to see what it's like against obsidian, actually. Oh wow, I can hear some monsters. Which might be a good opportunity to test out the godlike sword too. So hang on, where are we? Come on, where are these monsters? You can definitely hear them. Okay, at long last I found this damn cave, or appears to be cave. So I better give myself some torches. Where are they? There we are, some torches. And where's my godlike sword? That's what I need. Cool. So let's get down here and see what's going on. See how these guys take it. 2 hits, 2 hits. So it appears to be zombies in 2 hits with the godlike sword. And I should also mention right now that the godlike weapons and tools don't have any durability. Or, in saying that, sorry, they have infinite durability. So it seems to be just absolutely hacking through everything. Oh wow. Holy crap. And that's a creeper. Although, there we go. So, oh, it seemed to one hit the creeper then. I want to see what it, and 1 hit critical hit for the spider there. And I want to get to some obsidian, so I might just keep going down. And eventually I think we'll run into some. Okay, we found some obsidian, so what I might do is just quickly block up this water, and hopefully I don't get crept up on. Block up this water. Probably went the very long way about doing this, but more adventurous way, so... Oh wow, absolutely smashes through this obsidian. Not quite like it would be in creative, like it's not instant, as most other things seem to be, but still very, very fast for obsidian, and it'd be absolutely awesome to be able to mine obsidian that fast in the real game. Okay, now back on the service, just showing off all the different armors. Firstly, we have the netherrack armor, or the nether armor, and basically it just gives you complete fire resistance, and it is about the same strength, or I think it is exactly the same strength, sorry, as leather armor, as you can see from the bar below. I don't think it's going to give me much protection against this creeper. Nope, definitely did not. So that actually almost killed me then. But we'll move on. Okay, now we're in the wooden armor, and this is about the same strength as golden armor, but problem with this armor is if you do happen to get on fire, you receive a lot more damage. So let's just put ourselves on fire, and you'll notice it's taking down one heart at a time, not just half a heart at a time as normal fire would. So we'll quickly jump in the water before we die. Okay, now I'm in the chain armor. Nothing too special about the chain armor, just the fact that it is the same strength as diamond armor. So it's probably just a cheaper version of diamond armor, to be honest. Okay, now as you saw at the start of the video, this is the lily pad armor. It's a little bit weaker than leather armor, but gives you the ability to breathe underwater. So I'm not going to show you that again because you already saw that. And there's also meant to be some godlike and some bone armor, but it doesn't actually seem to be installed in this mod at the moment. So again, it must be something to do with the latest update or something where it's not allowing it to be installed. Okay, now just quickly moving on to the weapons, just to finish off. Firstly, we have the crossbow here, and I'll just snipe off one of these zombies. Basically, you can draw it back like a normal bow, or you can pull out the rapid fire system just by clicking. So you don't really have to actually click back at all. But yeah, so just basically like an old school bow, but it's got some durability with it too. And then moving on to the dagger. The dagger is basically like a sword of the equivalent level. So this would be like the godlike sword. So it's still pretty damn good. But does slightly less damage. And I guess the only advantage of it is you can craft it without a crafting bench because it only requires 2 slots. So we'll just test it on a couple of these zombies to see how good it is. It's probably going to kill them in a couple of hits, to be honest, because it is godlike. Yep, as I thought. And then finally we have our battle axe. And battle axe is just like the sword, only it should do more damage. I'm not sure how much more damage, but might be able to kill him in one hit. No, doesn't want to kill him in one hit. So I think we're still 2 hitting him. But I guess you oh, and you can still block with it too. And I've fallen into lava. But all the other zombies have too, so it's alright. And finish these guys off. Well, without dying. Cool. Okay, so this covers everything that's been put into the mod so far, / everything that's working in the mod so far, because as you saw earlier, the forge isn't working, which adds a 4x4 crafting grid and all the items that go with that. But in saying all that, I would like to see some more items added to the forge section once that gets working again, because the scope of this mod is absolutely massive. Just depends on how far they want to put into it. So anyway, I'm just gonna chill out in this lava here. I'm sure any monsters could come get me, but they wouldn't be able to do much to me, especially with this pretty mean battle axe I got here. But aside from that, this has been the more weapons and more armor mod. And thanks for watching. Guest to here, and peace.